Hi, Gavin Rubel here. Bottom line, are you sick and tired of dealing with all the crap that comes across your desk every day? And you know what I mean here. The bickering, the arguments, all the petty little stuff that seems to be never ending. The things that should be easy to solve amongst your people, but for some reason, never get solved. Well, we've got the answer. With me today is Ted Muradian, co-founder of the 2% Factor and founder and originator of the Cooperative Action Model. Ted, can you give us a brief description of the 2% Factor program?
I certainly can, Gavin. First of all, let me tell you what the 2% is about. They're a group of people that have been put on this planet to mess with us and to screw with our heads all the time. Now, they're a small minority of people, and so they're the 2%. And if it's a 2% person or the 2% incident that comes into our lives every day, our problem is we make that our 98%. Corporations take those 2% issues, they put systems and policies in place that adversely affect the 98%. What our program is about is how to deal with that 2% so it doesn't adversely affect the 98%.
So Ted, why is the 2% Factor program different from all the, let's call them flavor of the month programs out there, the ones that we seem to come across far too often?
Well, most of the other programs out there, there are three things that they do that are a problem and issue. First, it's time, cost, and then how they actually do the training. So let's talk about time for a minute. People today don't have the time to leave their desk for an entire day. They also don't have the time to, they're so bogged down because we're asking to do more for less. So what happens is, I got to go away on a seminar. I don't have time to do that, right? Just getting people away, and then they have to come back and deal with all the stuff. The cost factor, very important. First of all, the cost to get someone like me in, my expenses, getting a room, setting a date, somebody to manage it, taking people away for a day, a half a day for that, backfilling those people, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the whole issue. Now, when the people are there, they're also not thinking about what's going on there because they're so busy worrying about what's going on behind them, so they're not really in the classroom. And the third thing that people, sort of the way it's been done, is all of the seminars and training, or at least most of them that I know about, is going in telling people how they should be and how they should act. You know, you need to, you should, you have to. And so what happens is people turn off. They're in there going, don't lecture me. I'm an executive, or I've been doing my job for 15 years. Don't tell me what I have to do. And that's where people shut down. And our program is entirely different than that.
Okay, so let's touch on that then. Exactly how is it different?
Well, what I did is I took the cooperative action model that I developed at a Canadian university, and it took over 4 years of developing that. Mm-hmm. And what we did is we repackaged that, and we repackaged it to fill the gap between traditional training that we just talked about and canned online training. And what our program does is, instead of telling people you need to, the cooperative action model that I developed comes into play where what we do is we say to people, here's how to act and react to what they do to you. So we're teaching them and giving them the tools on how to deal with the 2%. Now, from a 2% standpoint, the model also deals and talks to, on a regular basis, self-evaluation. So if I'm sitting there, I self-evaluate all the time. What am I doing that's creating some of the problems and issues in my life? And so that's where our program focuses on. Not me changing, but me self-evaluating and then giving me the tools on how to deal with them.
All right, Ted, so you've touched on what the program is a little bit, but tell us, how does it specifically address the issues you mentioned a moment ago, those obstacles of cost and time?
Okay, as I said, we've repackaged what we've done for over a decade, and we know that works, right? So first of all, we do 10 to 15-minute videos that come out on a weekly basis to our client members. We also have them choose an in-house champion who we train at no extra cost. That in-house champion facilitates the program. Now, along with those little videos is a download lesson, sort of a summary of it with 4 questions that they can work through each week. So we've taken care of the fact of the time. You don't have to take a full day away. You can do a lunch and learn. You can do a small session in the morning. But again, that's up to the in-house champion on how they put that together. And then what happens is every week a little bit comes out. And so every week they're doing it 1 week at a time, and a little bit and a little bit, and then all of a sudden there's change in the organization. And that's what happens.
Okay, Ted, we know this is going to be beneficial for any organization out there, but let's talk cost.
We've taken care of that. Because we deliver everything online and our costs are very low, we've passed that savings on to our member clients. So for $500 a month per location, You can train all of your staff, half hour a week, $500, no extra cost to that whatsoever. And there's no long-term contract, so you can cancel anytime. So we're not asking you to sign up for $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. You can cancel anytime. This is amazing because that's 25 cents a month if you have 500 employees. Or sorry, 25 cents a week if you have 500 employees. It's as simple as that. It's very cost effective.
So I just want to reiterate that fact because I think that's incredibly important, especially from a risk standpoint. People sign up for this, organizations sign up for this, and in the first 6 months, if they at any point say, guys, you know what, we're not getting out of this what we anticipated, full no hassle, money back guarantee, problem solved, right?
That's right. We give a full 100% money back guarantee. What we would like you to do is start the program. Start as a pilot if you want. Doesn't matter. Take 10 to 20 people. Get it going. Work it for 6 months. That's a $3,000 investment. If at the end of the 6 months you don't like what's going on, then cancel it and we'll give you your money back. We believe that you will like what's going on. We believe that only 2%ers will want the money back, but the 98% will see the value in this. And that's why we're confident in giving this guarantee.
Okay, so money aside, again, great program, but it's still a program. That means work for the in-house champion. It makes work for possibly managers, for in-house staff. They've already got a lot on their plate. Can you explain how this deals with that?
Well, again, they can start it as a pilot themselves, and they can sort of move it out in their organization at their own pace. And we're talking about less than a half hour a week, less than 30 minutes a week. That's what we're talking about on how to have this program run. Now, that's our suggested. The program can run any way the champion wants. The other thing is that we hire a specialist, a customer retention specialist. We hire a specialist in there who will help them facilitate the program. So really what happens is the champion looks at what's going on next week, or that they want to do for next week as far as the video is concerned. They look at that, they put it up, or they go and attend the session. They make sure the session's running, and then that's all they do, and that's all the staff does.
So it sounds pretty simple. If the program really more or less runs itself, that's great, but there's got to be additional work involved because the group that starts participating in the program won't necessarily be identical to who finishes it. How does the program specifically deal with new hires? Because they could come on board, stagger throughout the year.
And again, we've taken care of that problem, Gavin, because what we've done is the first 12 sessions are the model, the cooperative action model. The first 12 sessions are the basics, tools on how to deal with everybody. So all you do with new hires or new departments that want to start is they sit and watch the first 12 sessions. Now you can do those first 12 sessions when you're starting a new department over 12 weeks. If it's a new hire, you can sit them down in a room and 1 day, 2 half days, 3 days, they can actually see the first 12. And then, here's the good part, they just join in with everybody else. That's all they do. They just start joining in with everybody else. Now here's the other neat thing about the program. Everything is actually online. So what happens is, if somebody has a specific issue and they want to deal with it, all they have to do is pick whichever ones they want. And so the program is ongoing. It's not something you have to follow like this and say, oh, well, that's not for me. If you don't want that specific session, you don't do it, you pick another one. So it's very flexible and customizing.
So let me break this down then. They get a 10 to 15 minute session each and every week,
Right.
accompanied by a downloadable exercise they can use to actually apply this to the real world.
Right.
All of the support, money back guarantee, no risk, $500 a month.
That's it.
End of story.
That's it. End of story.
I think of the money that some of these clients have probably already spent on consultants. Now it's up to you. A representative of the 2% Factor will be contacting you shortly to discuss how this program can benefit your organization.